Greetings. The following podcast may include stories featuring dumb people doing really dumb things, some nonsensical segments, and some saucy language. Consider yourself sufficiently warned. Now enjoy the show.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 122, or as the Spanish say, 122. Perhaps, even though your parents might have told you to, perhaps this time you don't have to share all your toys. We put the Guinness World Records on blast. We spent 5 nights at Freddys and much, much more. I am Mike Fish and I am joined as always by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush. Hey, Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, back in the flesh, coming to you all the way from the future home of Super Bowl 60. It is the Waffle Box, the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitutions because it is the best part of Wednesday. It's the people's podcast. You love us because we do this. We do this because we love you. What's good, producer Latham?
I've actually been better, Kush. I think I went a little overboard on the Halloween candy this year. I ate so many Skittles that I wouldn't be shocked if all my teeth fall out. I have every type of diabetes, and I'll probably be shitting out rainbows for the next week and a half.
Well, rainbows are nice.
That'd be pretty. I mean, not that I normally want to see photos of people's shit, but I mean, if you legit shit rainbows,
You'd have to see it once, right?
yeah, I'd want to see it. I kind of want to see it. Like, as long as it's...
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it. And then you'd be like, yo, Freddy, did you see this guy shitting rainbows over here? Like, this is amazing.
I imagine that's what like unicorns poop with like sparkles and everything.
Sure. That's one theory.
You know what, speaking of Skittles, actually, so as I'm, it's no secret we're not getting any younger, Kush. We're no spring chickens anymore. So I've been trying to look after myself a little bit more. But I've still got a little bit of a sweet tooth. I'm a bit of a candy monster, and so but I found these like I wish. It just popped into my head. If I had thought I was going to bring this up, I'd have brought a packet in with me into the studio. But they're kind of like, they're like healthy Skittles. They've got fancy like ingredients. They don't taste like Skittles, but they taste kind of nice. But they look like Skittles. And it's like, as I'm like munching away, and they come in like tiny little packets. So like maybe there's like 7 in there, and you're just kind of like feeding yourself like a baby bird. Oh, is this what my life has come to? I'm eating healthy Skittles. Oh God!
We're sure this isn't hospital medication.
The yellow ones make the leprechauns go away. So maybe.
I mean, that's what I think of when I think of healthy Skittles. Otherwise, yeah, I'm calling shenanigans. Otherwise,
maybe once we hit the ad break, I'll run and grab a packet.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to see that.
I'll prove to you that I'm not going completely mad. I'm not getting a little bit mad, but there's a story for another time. Kush, how you been, buddy? What have you been up to?
I'm good. As you can see, I'm back. People are able to see me once again. It's a very exciting story. I don't want to bother anybody with it, but it involves multiple chases from federal nameless government agencies. There's a femme fatale. There's a double cross. At one point, even though we've been shot at and chased down by cars and gotten into multiple fights, we found the time to make amore. It all climaxes at the end on a big high rise, and sure enough, in a very intense, dramatic rain scene, my flesh came back.
Oh, everyone loves a good fleshy climax.
Yeah,
that's the moral of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Giggity. What have I been up to? Oh, I've been, I'm so far behind the trends. I know all the kids have been doing this for years. I know this has been a thing, right? But I finally realized, I would like to have a mirage. No, mirage, that's the wrong word. Like just a lot of hoodies, right? Really cool graphic hoodies.
Okay.
But it's hard to find a good graphic hoodie, right? So what I've started doing, and again, this isn't a new thing, but what I've started to do, see, look, this looks like a really cool Golden Girls hoodie, right? For those watching the YouTube version, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, all that good stuff. what I've been doing, like between me and you, Kush, what I've just been doing is wearing a plain black hoodie and then putting the Golden Girls t-shirt over the top, and it looks like a hoodie.
Smart, economical.
I
If you really feeling this passionately though about putting a super dope graphic on a hoodie, kind of like this one, you can just have them custom made. It'll cost you like $50 to $60, man. But you know, if it's a really good graphic that you approve of and it's warm enough, you'll love it. Winter's coming, and that New Jersey weather is gonna be a bitch.
Oh, it's coming. The light switch has already been flicked. It's gonna be pretty chilly this week. But no, I'm just thinking it's just economical. I'm saving the planet rather than buying multiple hoodies. I can just wear the same hoodie, obviously wash it eventually, because I'm not gonna walk around with the flies coming around like a cartoon smelly person. But so I put the t-shirt over the top, boom, extra layer, so I'm warm for the winter. But then when the summer comes, hoodie, thanks. We'll see you another time. But now I can just wear the t-shirt. So I'll get multiple uses out of this t-shirt. Because I have some fun, because I'm a very cold person. So when it gets cold, I always feel like I just wear like boring plain undershirts because I feel it's a waste to have a really cool t-shirt like the Golden Girls one, but then just hide it under a hoodie and a jacket. No, I just wear plain t-shirts under the hoodies and stuff like that. So now I've given these t-shirts extra life. These are now functional 365, baby. Thank you.
Well, the kids at CBGBs would be very impressed.
I think so. I don't know who they are, but shout out to them.
They don't exist anymore, but they would be impressed.
Oh, did they die in a car accident?
Well, the location no longer exists.
Deforestation.
They'd all support the t-shirt over a hoodie. I like it. They would say it just like that too.
Speaking of car accidents, I almost got into a car accident the other day. Right, so because of that, I'd like to take some time to speak directly to my fellow drivers in New Jersey. I'm assuming there's similar people all around the world, but I don't know. I don't want to judge. I haven't been driving in California, for example. They could all be exemplary drivers. I don't know. But all right, so New Jerseyans, if you drive, right, there's this really cool thing that most modern cars come with. It's normally located on the side of the steering wheel, right? And it's called a turn signal. And what you use that for is to signal to the other drivers that you're about to turn. Hence, why it's called a turn signal. So rather than driving 70 miles per hour down the highway and you just veering in front of me because, there's a slight gap that maybe it's 2 centimeters larger than my car, you can just give me a heads up. And so I'll slow down a little bit, let you in. I'm a nice guy. I'm British. We're very kind. We're like Canadians, but less
and might I
French.
add, by the way, it costs nothing to utilize this turn signal. It's complimentary, pour gratis, if you will. It's it does not cost you a thing, and you can. Unfortunately, I see several people using this thing when they have no intention of turning. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you've gone 3 blocks and haven't made a right yet. What's going on?" However, I can't tell you how many times I've hated waiting for someone to drive straight, only for them to like, I'm just going to make a left now.
It's I don't know what's worse, the people that don't use the turn signal or the people that start turning and then put the turn signal on, almost as if to say, see, fuck you. It's like I had to drive because I drove down to Princeton, New Jersey, location of Princeton College or Princeton University. I don't know which one it is. I'm not educated, but it's madness. This is why Central Jersey, people say Central Jersey doesn't exist because it doesn't deserve to exist, because everyone who drives in Central Jersey sucks. So that's what you get. You don't exist. It's North Jersey, South Jersey. You can go fuck yourself. People in between. That's all I'm saying. But I did see, before we get into the main portions of the show, I did see. I'll have to send you. I'll put a photo up on the old Book of Face, because I know you're not on Twitter anymore. But I saw, House MD.
I'm familiar with it. I've never seen the show.
Fuck, it's a great show. You need to watch it.
I keep it.
Anyway,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
now you know. I saw the building in which they take like the outside and aerial shots of, pretended to be the hospital that he works in, even though the film's obviously filmed in, I think it's like Vancouver and LA, like everything. But yeah, so I saw House MD's place of work. It was very exciting.
Okay. Nice.
People that I was with wasn't very excited, so I had to show them the opening credits and be like, and pause it. Look, see, there it is. Look, that's where we are. Look, that. They still didn't care, but whatever. I had a happy time. And I sent it to a friend of mine. I had sent it to a friend of mine who watched House, and then he asked me like if I was okay, if I had an accident. I was like, oh no, it's not an actual hospital. It's a school building. But there you go. There you go. Anyway, that's enough of my ranting and raving and inane talking. Should we get into the stories? Should we get into the stories?
Let's get into the story. Let's get into the stories.
Let's get into the stories. Got some good stories. I'm very excited to share these stories this week. So Lathan,
pour myself a drink.
Do it.
Tell us a story.
Lathan, if you could do me the honor and hit that music for this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
Charity shops.
My hands are full.
Charity shops. This week's top story. I'm sure, Kush, you're very familiar with how charity shops work. I don't know if they actually call charity shops over here. We call them charity shops over in England. Thrift
Are we talking
stores,
about like Goodwill?
Goodwill.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So basically,
Are we talking
where
about Goodwill
people...
or are we talking Target?
Oh, Zinger, I think. Was that
No.
Target?
Honest question.
Target's not a charity shop. It's a corporation. It's all corporation-y.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, so we're talking Goodwill then. Okay,
Goodwill.
copy that.
So yeah, I don't know how they run over here in America, but basically in England, what happens is people will go, oh, I don't want these things anymore, but rather than throw them away, they will donate them to the charity shop. Charity shop will see what's good and what's not, maybe clean a few things, sell them, and then all the profits will go to the CEO for his 7-figure salary. Only joking. Apparently some of it goes to charity. But there is a brand or chain, I guess, of charity stores over in the UK called Barnardo's. So Barnardo's is a charity founded by Thomas John Barnardo in 1866 to care, quote, for the vulnerable children. Thus far, on average, it raises over £200 million every year, running around 900 local services aimed at helping these same groups, i.e. the vulnerable children. Right? However, they've had a little bit of issues recently, and they've had to take to social media to clamp down on this, because there's been some shenanigans, Kush.
Okay, what's happening?
Well, so in the social media post, a branch of Barnardo's in Swansea, which is in Wales, was keen to remind people that it is a children's charity, and it has asked people to stop donating, quote, used and unused marital aids, as they, quote, aren't quite the sort of toys that we're looking for.
No.
I know that we shouldn't judge other people, but you've got to be a special kind of scumbag to take your favorite 12-inch purple goblin, fuck yourself so stupid that you're able to see the back of your own skull, then think to yourself, you know what? I think someone else would like to use this.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you just want to spread the joy. But yeah, like, I gotta be.
I don't know who's buying used toys. I understand they're getting some new toys as well, and maybe that's against policy or whatever. Or maybe a back staff person is very happy that night, like, ooh, I've got a date. However, yeah, the used stuff. I don't know what the mindset of that is.
Like, I guess, like, innocent people maybe who aren't thinking too much. If, like, maybe as like as a funny birthday present, someone from work gave them a vibrator, and they're like, I don't want to fucking vibrate. This isn't my. I'll just give it. It's still in its packaging and its box untouched. I'll just give it to the charity shop. I can, fine, I can. But yeah, the fact that I had to specify that we don't want the used ones either. That's disgusting. Like, what the?
Yeah, that's my bigger complaint is the used ones. Like, it takes a special kind of asshole, no pun intended, to just be that oblivious. Just like, yeah, I'm done using this. Now I would like others to share with its joy.
I'm just trying to
And
spread
then I hand
joy
it to you like
across this world.
Excalibur.
I imagine like
Yeah,
when they hand it to the staff member, they're like, was this used in the front or the back? Because I clocks wiped it. It's fine.
The answer matters not. It belongs in a volcano, in an active volcano. That's the only way to properly discard it.
But the thing is, the used ones kind of perplex me as well on so many levels, because surely if
Only
you've
the used ones
used
are
it,
perplexing.
you've used it. I'm going to,
Mhm.
I'm lacking a vagina, right? And so I have never partaken in the self fornication of inserting something into my body, right? But I've heard rumors from some of my female friends that
There's a back door too.
well, there is a back door as well, and that's where that's the G spot, the male G spot. So hey, if you want to put something up your bum, go for it, enjoy yourself. We'll talk about that on
Don't do it.
After
It's
Dark.
bad.
I mean, I'm not going to judge it, but anyway, I've heard it's a nice sensation because it will, So if at that point you don't want this, surely there's that. Why do you think anyone else wants it? If you've discarded it because apparently it's not doing a job anymore, it's not giving you your kicks.
It's one of two reasons. One, they've upgraded to a newer toy and they don't need the old one anymore. Like maybe they're one of those finicky people who's like, well, it's just me and the cat here, so I'll just have 2 plates and 2 spoons and two of everything. So we don't entertain much. So obviously there's only one of me and I only need the one dildo. So that one can go into the Goodwill bin. Ew, by the way. Or this person, the former owner of it, has passed on to the afterlife, and the family just didn't know what to do with it. And just like, everything in this box goes in this box now.
I don't want to buy a haunted vibrator.
Ooh, that would be a great porno. Vivid, get at us.
Haunted
OnlyFans channel, get at us. I will do the voice of the vibrator. Hello, young lady. I don't know why I'm doing Santa Claus.
Why would the vibrator have a deep male voice? Well, I guess because
it's a male organ.
No, not to be too stereotypical, but I imagine if a vibrator had a voice, it would sound like Barry White. So that's
why I'm talking this low now.
Like he had the peak sexiest voice ever. Like no man could ever. Well, except for who's that guy who does the Allstate commercials? He's got a pretty deep, sexy voice.
Oh yeah, President Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. His name is escaping me, but President Palmer.
President Palmer.
24.
Yeah. Speaking of like, because with the old sex toys thing, right? This is what I remember. I'm not going to mention any names, but
James Earl Jones as the vibrator.
I don't know. Did James Earl Jones have a sexy voice? And he definitely had
He's a little old now. He's definitely a little old now, but we can tweak it a little. It'll be sexy. Don't worry.
But I just think of James Earl Jones from Coming to America, and so I just imagine this woman alone in a bedroom, go really going to town, and just as she's about to climax, James Earl Jones, aha!
My favorite line of James Earl Jones in that movie is, "Then let them wait." I'm talking to my son.
Where he's talking about, are you not sleeping with your postures?
That's an earlier conversation.
Oh.
He's just met his future bride to be, and she's doing the whole hopping on one thing and barking. And politely dismissed. And then when the guy comes in the room, is like, "Excuse me, sire, the whole court is waiting for you." And he's like, "And let them wait." And I actually got to drop that on someone at work one time. It felt good.
By the way, if you haven't already done so, you apparently you're living under a rock, but go on YouTube and search for "Coming to America Star Wars." It'll change your life.
I'm putting it on the list.
You've never seen that? It's they just
Never heard of it.
Oh my god! It's just all Star Wars clips of Darth Vader, but they've just dubbed over James L. Jones from Coming to America. It's fucking hilarious. Like every time Darth Vader turns around and sees someone new, he's like, "Aha!" It's very funny. It's very funny.
Okay. No, I'm in.
But anyway, where were we? Anyway, yeah. So customers were reminded, apparently, Bernardo's. Jesus, it's only my first beer. Customers were reminded that the branch that have CCTV, quote, so that these items can be traced back to their owners.
Oh,
that'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? If you get a knock at the door, there's some cherry workers there, throws a dildo at you. Have that back. Oh,
it'd be funny if they threw it right back at me and smacked him in the forehead. However, I also the vision of a box on the doorstep, but it's not sealed, so there's just all sorts of like 9 and 12 and 15-inch dildos just sticking out of it. Just like, what the baby, we're living next to a degenerate Mrs. Nelson. What would Mr. Nelson say if he was still alive?
Now, I just imagine my favorite image is like ding dong, and she opens the door, and there's this person there with the dildo in his hand, and he just bonks her on the head. No,
that's a good one.
No, and just walks away. Next story. So obviously, I know you're a man. That's a wild one. Yeah, it's a wild one. Who sang that song?
ZZ Top.
Sure, why not? I don't know the answer, but
I thought you were quizzing me.
I'm just, yeah. Let's go with ZZ Top. So I know you're more of a liquor drinker, Kush.
These days, yep.
But I know you I'm sure you dabbled in the amber nectar. Of,
sure. Had a celebratory beer last night after the rain ended.
That's a hell of a good reason. So I haven't got a drinking problem. I just like to celebrate when the weather changes. But no, but everyone at some point has had, that situation where you're drinking the beer like this. Like I'm going to show you if you're watching the YouTube version like this, drink a beer, and thought to yourself, Jesus Christ, this tastes like piss. This tastes like piss. Well, now finally you might actually be accurately describing its ingredients, because a video was recently shared online showing that a man dressed in a hard hat, so it's official, blue overalls, climbing down into a malt container at the Tsingtao beer factory in Pingdu, unzipping his trousers and relieving himself in the giant vat of beer. According to Tsingtao, they have sealed all batches linked to the incident, but still, why would you piss in that beer?
Because he's a jerk and he's trying to make a point about something labor related. He doesn't like his boss, something or other. Yeah, that's disgusting. To be fair, the amount of piss versus that entire vat, I don't know what the proper term is, but that entire vat of beer probably will go unnoticeable, but still, ew.
Say what you want about how disgusting it is to imagine someone pissing into this beer, but I'd still take a 6-pack of that stuff over a PBR or a Bud Light. Now I know it might seem cool for some people to talk shit about Bud Light because of someone in their marketing department actually having empathy towards other people, but I'm just saying, their beer tastes like ass water.
Damn.
How dare you talk bad about PBR? Bud Light, whatever, but PBR, it won the blue ribbon for a reason, buddy.
Well,
how dare you?
Before I know you have a thought of really finishing. What's that? Kanye West. Like I'm Kanye West. You're Taylor Swift. I'll let you finish in a minute. But PBR,
Well,
I will let PBR pass, depending on how much the establishment that I'm at is charging for said PBR.
okay. Yes,
Because
I'm with you
I've
on
been
this
to
one.
one bar, they had $1 pints of PBR, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, pour me that PBR," and it tasted
Oh, yeah.
okay, like good enough for $1. But sometimes, very early on in my stay here in New York metro area, I was foolish enough to go into a
Scared to hear what this
bar
price
in
is.
Times Square, and
Ooh.
I was just waiting for a buddy of mine to meet me. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll have a beer. I'm probably going to be spending a lot of money tonight. So this one, I'll go cheap. And so without even looking, I just went, oh, PBR, that'll be cheap. And it was like $9. And I was like, fuck
Fuck off.
you.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know.
$9.
Never
So I've
went
been
back
in
to that place
places,
ever again.
nor should you. I've been in places where a normal 12-ounce bottle or even a pint is like $6, and that's outrageous too. I've been to bars that'll sell you a tall boy for $7, and I'm like, all right, it's a tall boy. Like it's a legit tall boy. It's
Yeah.
it's a good chunk of
It's
beer.
that's on the
It's
cusp. That's on the cusp.
Well, it's also a different kind of establishment. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. However, yeah, no. Those places charging $6, $9 for a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Fuck you and fuck your mother.
It's the same kind of place. Like I was having this argument with someone the other day where like
Fucking hipster shit.
not only that, but like my big thing is non-alcoholic beers, right? The whole point of non-alcoholic beers is obviously one is to offer someone who doesn't want to drink or can't drink for whatever reason, but they still like the taste of beer. So that's available to them. But also, I'm going to assume the whole purpose behind non-alcoholic alcohol, if that makes sense, is to try to help people. Yeah, you can slow down your drink. You don't have to drink all the time. But if you're that kind of inclined, you can still have your taste of the beer, but it won't be alcohol. Where we alcohol, so blah 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 blah. I went to some bar, fancy bar in where the fuck was I? In Queens. Was I in Queens? No, I was in Princeton. This is like fucking full circle. It's my Princeton
Deja
story.
vu.
But on the beer list, this restaurant, it had Heineken, $9. Heineken Zero, $9. Like, why the fuck is this the same fucking price?
To be fair, they could pull that bullshit where Heineken Zero would be $10 because it's a different gimmick. Have you seen those things where like sugar free or gluten free, and those are always more expensive for some reason?
Because it
Like,
took us, we had to take the sugar out. Could you not just put it, not put it in the beginning? No, we had to take it out.
yeah, we had to put it in and then we took it out. So that's why sugar free Diet Coke is $3.92. Anyway, yeah, you're right though. You're correct. I see your point. Heineken Zero should be like $7 in that equation.
Should be at least, yeah, $2 or $3 cheaper. Hold on, well,
It should be the price of a Coca-Cola.
right. It's a non-alcoholic drink. It's a soft beverage, if anything. Like, but too, when I was like, whenever I'm DDing,
Yes, a soft beverage.
because I must admit, maybe I don't know if I have a problem, but I'm always kind of one like once I start drinking,
day
like
drinking.
no DD, designated driver.
Oh, okay.
But once so normally, I'll kind of even if I'm DDing, I'll have a couple of drinks, but because I'm well versed in my drinking ability, so I know I can have this many drinks and then I have to stop drinking, but I can enjoy these couple of drinks. But sometimes if I know if I'm going to an environment where I'm going to be here a while and I don't want to nurse anything, but also there's nothing more depressing than having a couple of drinks and then having to switch to soda or whatever. And then so sometimes I'll take a couple of regular Heinekens and then a 6-pack of Heineken Zeros. And I tell you what, it doesn't taste exactly like Heineken, but it's not fucking bad. It's not a bad beverage. I will say that. It's not a, you did well, Heineken, on that non-alcoholic beverage. It's a pretty tasty beverage. But yeah.
I once had a non-alcoholic beer, and it literally, I would have no reason to know why it tasted like this, but it tasted what equated in my mind to horse piss. I took one swig, I merely spit it into the sink, and then poured the rest down the drain. I was 14, and then I moved on to the real stuff.
I didn't even know they had non-alcoholic beer in the 60s.
Oh, you.
Hilarious.
You're so funny, you make me want to call INS and have you deported.
Oh, we're having fun. Anyway.
I want to pose this to you, man. Have you ever, I was at a film festival a couple years ago, pre-pandemic, and it's the end of the festival. It's like we're in the second to last film, we're in the last to last film. No one else is coming in at this. The box office is closed, and the guy running the thing, he brought a little cooler and stocked it with all of his favorite beers and IPAs, or maybe it was a sponsor thing or whatever. But my man hands me goes, "Here you go, Kush." I'm like, mucho gracias. And I crack it open and I take a swig, and I don't know any different. I'm just like, it's beer, it's IPA or whatever. And I let it sit for a minute, and I go for my next thing. I'm like, something's funny about the smell of this beer. Can't quite put my finger on it. I take a swig. Something tastes funny about this beer. And after a couple extra swigs, couple extra sniffs, and for a while I was like, is my brain imagining this? Or maybe this is just a funky, this one beer I'm holding is funky. Tasted like pussy. I don't know how much pussy you do, Mike Fish, but done my fair share. It's a lot of fun, good times.
Flex.
But my beer tasted like pussy, which is very, very strange to me. And then I went like, something's wrong with the beer. Let's put that away. Let's just hide it, in fact, and pretend we didn't see it. 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, my man comes down the row again, hands me another beer. As far as I know, it's the same brand, but we're in the dark, so I don't even know what the hell's in my hand. Same gimmick. Swig. Why does this beer taste like pussy? This one I actually just finished because I was like, well, this is clearly just the beer. But that did happen. Has never happened since. I don't know what the brand is. I keep forgetting to ask my man about it when I talk to him on Zoom. He's been a guest on the Microdose several times. But yeah, that just wanted to throw that equation out to you, Mr. Mike Fish.
Well, did you ever find out why it tasted like vagina?
No, I keep forgetting to ask my guy.
What the fuck is that
but
kind
we
of
had
story?
This in-depth talk about beer. We had this in-depth talk
now
about
I'm not going to be able to
beer,
sleep. Now I'm going to be trying to work out why the beer tastes like intimate lady petals.
A lady's anatomy. Lady petals. Nice. That should be a beer, dude. We could get the chick from Iron Man involved in it. Like, dude, we got a money.
No,
maker
I think it'd be cheaper if we're gonna
Gwyneth Paltrow.
If we're gonna brew a alcoholic beverage that tastes like ladies,
Lady petals. That's the name of the beer.
I reckon one, it'd be cheaper, and two, it'd be easier if we just get that woman that sold her own farts. I reckon she'd be totally down for this.
Oh, yeah, she's a total whore. She'll totally put her name on it.
Absolutely. And
she can also, but you know what?
She'd probably be like, "Do you want me to sit on every bowl before?" No, it's not. That's not how we're gonna do it. No,
she would ask. She would. I've heard her on a couple podcasts. Smart lady.
You on a couple? Who are these people?
Little out there, but also people gave her money to fart in a jar. So why are we? I'm not mad at her.
But how many questions are you going to ask her? one, why did you do it? two, that I don't know. Actually, no, just the one. I just have one question. Why? Yeah, but it's kind of like the dumb world record segment, which we're going to get to in a minute. It's like it's a chicken or the egg, because she can't say, "Oh, I sold my own farts because there was demand for it." How did you know there's a demand for it? Did you do some research? Did you get some focus groups? I need to know.
Well, started off as a joke, and then the first batch sold out, and there was a demand for more. Like people, despite the thing being sold out, people kept giving her money. And by the way, she sold so many of these damn jars that she ended up hospitalizing herself for farting too much, and then had to stop doing it.
We've all been there. Question: do you reckon I could get sued for what's the wording? What's the like? Let's just say if I was to get a friend to agree to it, I'd be like, "Hey, female friend, can I take your photo and put it up as you're going to be the face of my company, but you don't have to do anything. I'm just going to take a picture and put it up, and then I fart into the jars and I sell it, pretending to be her. Would I get sued? You reckon?
Only if you get found out.
Well,
Otherwise, I don't think anyone would notice. You've opened the bottle now, so people will know. So you can't do it anymore. However, yeah.
Oh, that's
I bet
definitely a
you could've
man's
got away
fart.
with that.
Oh, that's not a woman's fart.
I don't know how you would know. The ones that know probably would know, but I don't know how
We
you
should
would
do a
know,
blind taste test or smell test. We should get a woman to fart into a jar, and then I'll fart into a jar, and then someone does a blindfold
Fuck,
test.
I'll do it too.
And they'll have to work out which jar is the male fart and which jar is the lady fart. I think we can make sense.
Yes, this is me nodding my head for the audio listeners. I'm nodding my head in approval.
It's for science.
By the way, Lady Petals beer, Lady Petals IPA, Lady Petals Light, all copyright Waffle Box 2023.
Lady Petals Light kind of sounds a bit pedophile, so we're gonna stay away from that.
Okay, we'll come up with a different. We'll come up with a different thing for just. It's just got less calories. That's all. But we'll come up with a different thing. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Like
I hear
Lady Petals, Skinny Bitch IBA.
Skinny Bitch IPA.
And then we can also, well, we're not describing the woman. We're just kind of, hey, if you want to be a skinny bitch, this is our lighter beer.
Skinny Bitch IPA.
So Lady Petals is going to be like the
2023.
brewery name. That's going to be like the branding, and then we'll have like
Well, you know,
Skinny Bitch IPA, Fat
I
Bastard
think
Double
Lady Petals is
IPA.
still a good beer name. Fat Bastard. That one just tastes like hot dogs.
Indeed. Anyway, we really must get on with this. Talking about, I think we've spent too much time talking about vaginas, and if we were monetized on YouTube, then we wouldn't be. So I guess we got to get out the vagina talk now, since we can.
Should never stop talking about vaginas. Anyways.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably very familiar with the old Florida man stories out there, where, you know, headlines such as Florida man desperate for ride calls 911 to get him to Hooters, and Florida man arrested for trying to get an alligator drunk. Florida man tries to steal rack of ribs by stashing it in his pants, etc., etc., etc. And also the old game of like typing Florida man and then your birthday and getting the story and all that stuff like that. But someone has thought, you know what, let's capitalize on this Florida man positivity, whatever. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. But now someone has thought, fuck it, let's make some money off this, and has founded and will be launching as of 2024 the Florida Man Games. Ooh.
So this isn't anything new. Many radio stations, many podcasts all do things like Florida or Germany, where someone reads a news line and you have to guess, did it come out of Florida or Germany? And it's the same thing. But good for them for capitalizing on it.
No. This is
different.
This is like the Olympic Games, but Florida Man events.
Okay. Break it down.
Breaking it down, I will indeed. So the first Florida Man Games is scheduled to take place on February 24th, 2024, with special events, including the quote, Category 5 cash grab, where participants will try to grasp as much money in a wind-blowing booth. That's been done before, but it's Category 5, I guess, because Florida gets a lot of hurricanes. Topical, I guess. the weaponized pool noodle mud duel. I don't even know what that is, but I'm sure is it just like
that was a bunch of words, but my brain could not process it.
so it's like mud wrestling, but instead of your fists, you use pool noodles, I guess. Is that a thing in Florida? Are there a lot of pool noodle crimes in Florida?
There's a lot of pools, so there would instinctively be a lot of pool noodles.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But I guess they're covered in mud. Whatever.
But the pièce de résistance, as the French would say, the main event of the Florida Man Games 2024 will be the quote evading arrest obstacle course, where real police officers chase the participants across this obstacle course, and I guess the first one to finish without getting caught gets the gold medal, which is pretty insane.
Wait, actual police officers are being used to chase these dumbasses? Imagine being the higher up in that police department offering out that overtime. So we just need you to chase overweight drunk fucks around an obstacle course. Actually, now that I think about it, I bet they weren't short for volunteers for this shit show.
No, that'd be fun as fuck.
As someone who works in the live event industry, yeah, a lot of those cops aren't making any overtime at the events. They're just there because I want to be at the Warriors game, or I want to watch two drunken assholes in a tank top fight each other with pool noodles covered in mud, or I want to chase a drunk. That's those guys aren't really making any extra money on that shit. However, this is an actual Olympic style event, a decathlon, if you will. Okay. They should put this on pay-per-view.
I'm
$5. Tell me you wouldn't watch it for $5 on like Thriller.
I'm sure it's gonna be like on CMT or something like that. That seems like something they would put on.
Too lowbrow for them. They're trying to be like a family channel.
Have you seen the shit that they put on?
Yes, they're still trying to be a family channel. They're not trying to get your drunk Uncle Larry out there in his Confederate hat and covered in mud. No. However, this should be a pay-per-view event. I put $10 out there to watch this because it's just it's a train wreck. It sounds like an automatic train wreck.
Who do you reckon would be a really good like host for it? You know where they have like the analysis booth.
Bert Kreischer. He's from Florida.
Yep.
He's that comedian who does comedy. I did a review for his movie The Machine earlier this year.
Indeed.
So he does comedy with a shirt off.
Would it be too on the nose, or do you reckon Larry the Cable Guy, is he still around?
Larry the Cable Guy is still around. I don't know if he's from Florida.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think he would be a fun guy to break it down.
If you pay him enough, yeah, he'll be there.
And then Bill Burr, just because I think listening to Bill Burr talk about the Florida Man games would be pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
And it's on pay-per-view, so
the entire time.
Like, it's on pay-per-view, so he doesn't have to watch his language.
Yeah, right. I don't foresee Bill Burr participating in an event like this.
No, I don't think.
But
so.
if he did, it would be hilarious. But I don't foresee him doing that.
You never know. Dreams.
You never know. If you don't ask, he won't say yes.
I'm going to keep this and taking Bill Burr. See if we can make some things happen.
I've been trying to get him to the Redhead Festival for years now, and he never responds to that shit. So
you'd have to pay for that.
Of course, I wasn't offering him money either.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I wasn't offering him money. So, but still.
Anyway, thankfully, just in case you're thinking about entering the Florida Man Games 2024,
what do you got to do?
The organizers have specifically stated on the website that, quote, being athletic is not required to enter. So, phew. I'm sure that's put a lot of minds at ease. Anyway.
There's a lot of guys who drink Old Milwaukee that are very happy with that news. That's less than PBR. That's less than Miller High Life.
Champagne and beers, Miller High Life.
Oh God, don't talk bad about Miller High Life. I'm just saying.
No, I remember getting turned on to Miller High Life because there was this bar that I went to in Brooklyn. So we're talking Brooklyn, like peak hipster.
Brooklyn.
And the fact that I could get a Miller
Miller High
High
Life,
Life in this
$7.
bar, no, it was like $4. So I was like, oh, okay, Jesus,
Okay, that's
$4
good.
beer in Brooklyn.
That's good.
Jeez.
Yeah.
See, like I said, it's not gonna be my top 10, but for $4, I'll drink it.
It's hard to find a $4 beer in a dive bar in San Francisco these days. So yeah, cool.
Shout out to the Blackbird Pub in Cliffside Park, New Jersey. $2 Yinglings. You the GOAT. You the real MVP. Anyway.
Before we go, man, I know you're trying to get to the second half here. Before you go, I was at a bar one time.
Well, we're still at a
with
dumb
friend of
world record
mine, never
bit,
been
yeah.
there before. Oh, good. Then we can wait. It's a going away party, and it's this weird little thing where like I'm in someone's garage, but this is clearly also a dive bar. It's weird how it works out. I didn't look at the permitting or anything. I'm just there. They have a special $1 beer,
And it tastes like
beer.
pussy.
And I was like, tasted like shit, dude.
Oh.
It tastes like grapefruit beer. The worst. Yeah, I was like, for $1, I will try it. And again, same thing like with the non-alcoholic beer. Took a swig, spit it on the floor, put the bottle back, and just didn't even look. That was my fault. I didn't even request the $1 back. I just went like, please give me a better beer. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and that's
I don't see each their own, but I'm not big like the fruit sour beers. I don't get that. I don't get this. Oh, this bit is like it's nectarine and passion fruit. What? No, just give me barley and hops. I'm an old-fashioned guy.
Yeah,
Man.
the LaCroix of beers.
Oh, look, I tell you what, that not even joking. That actually, because when I used to work at an office in New York City, when you actually used to work in offices, do you remember that back in the day?
I remember that.
They had like free refreshments, and so I was like,
Nice.
normally I'm not like, I don't want to drink LaCroix because I'm probably gonna hate it, but it was kind of like, it's free, so hey, if I don't like it, what's the worst? I haven't lost anything, whatever. So I thought I'd try it, and yeah, I don't know which flavor it was, but that was legit like one of those one swig. Where's the sink? That's vile.
I do not know why that beverage is as popular as it is. And yes, it's usually in offices, commercial offices, graphic design offices.com offices, and it's always two flavors that no one asked to be melded together, like cigarette butts and baby diapers. And it's just like gravel
with a lime
and
twist.
arsenic. With a lime twist. Thank you, Mike. LaCroix, you guys are LaCroix. You are the worst thing on earth.
LaCroix.
The worst thing on earth.
It just sells.
I don't know why people like that shit. I hear people give White Claw a lot of shit. LaCroix, way worse than any White, and it's non-alcoholic.
Oh yeah, so at least
you're getting some alcohol with that White Claw.
Yeah. Anyway, let's. Well, we're going to do a slightly different segment because normally we talk about people achieving things with their life and getting the little slip of paper and to back that shit up. But this week we're calling the Guinness World Records out because someone achieved something and they didn't get the fucking piece of paper to prove it. We're going to get into this on the other side of the jingle. Lathan, hit it.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
By the way, shout out.
These
to,
are serious
Matthew Perry.
charges you've brought forward to the stand, Mike Fish. What is happening here?
But I just wanted a quick shout out to Matthew Perry, whose voice you can hear in that little intro there. R.I.P. Shout out. So on October 1st, Christopher Hayes, a young lady named Dorothy Hoffner jumped 13,500 feet from a plane in an attempt to break the Guinness World Record for world's oldest skydiver.
Nice.
She was a 104
Fuck
when
off.
she attempted this jump. Well, I say she attempted it. She did it. She
Wow.
jumped. She fucked off out the plane.
Okay.
Fun fact about Dorothy: she was. Guess how old she was when she made her first ever skydive?
Probably 85, something stupid like that.
100. She celebrated her 100th birthday by skydiving. So
Yeah, just raise your drinks to this lady right now. Like just for that detail, please. That's amazing.
but this is where it gets a little bit testy for me, right?
Okay, break. No, I'm with you already, but break it down.
So she attempted the world record by jumping out the plane on October 1st. However, unfortunately, on October 9th, she passed away at her care home.
Another drink, everybody.
Which is, to my calculation, around about 8 days. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So
sure.
apparently, in 8 days, so you're thinking like, how do I verify whether this woman is the oldest person to skydive? Oh, well, there's a video of her skydiving. There's a copy of her birth certificate. Boom, that took me 20 seconds. Verified. No, in the 8 days since she attempted the record and she unfortunately passed away, Guinness World Records had still yet to verify her world record attempt, and so she passed away without knowing whether she was a world record holder. So Guinness World Records, fuck you, because this 104 saint of a woman fucking got into a plane, went up 13,000 feet and fucking jumped out, and you can expedite this shit over 8. Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, what are you doing? The guys who stamping these records, like, oh, well, this guy he's balancing a house of cards on his forehead. Oh, let's take a look at this. What? No, what's this, Dave? 104-year-old skydiving? Whoa, that can wait. Have you seen this? Fucking deck of cards on his head. Like, you drop everything when you see, oh, a 104-year-old just jumped out of a fucking, all right, let's fucking do this right now. Give me that video. I want to watch this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck you, Guinness World Records. Right? A statement from
Where
the
was the lady
center.
from again?
So she
Do we know?
was from oh shit, it's Brookdale Senior Living Center she was living in. I'm not sure exactly where that is.
Okay, yeah, no, the center isn't as important as like the state. So like, but yeah, like it still takes a minute to ship stuff
Because it's all
to Guinness.
digital. You just email the video, email PDF, copy of the birth certificate. Boom. Done.
Gotta assume
This world record could have been verified before she fucking touched her feet on the ground.
But Mama Hayes is not 85 yet, does not know how to text, thinks that every time she sees something
Well, I'm
on
assuming
Facebook,
she wasn't up there
it's not
alone.
a post.
I'm assuming she didn't
Yeah,
fly the
but
plane
they
up
don't-
herself and then thought fucking Jesus take the
That's
wheel
not-
and jumped out and let the plane crash. Like there was
That's not their
younger people up
responsibility,
there.
though. Not their responsibility.
It is.
Or it wasn't made. It was
What you-
that
what you-
wasn't
what-
made factual. though.
You don't think at some point she mentioned why she was going up there? Like there was,
I'm sure they went like,
you know,
that's
there's
cute.
these people with like fucking long hair, these surfer like Brad and Chad were up there, and none
Brad
of them
and
was
Chad
like,
smoke
who
a
the fuck
lot
is
of
this-
weed.
what is this 104-year-old
Brad and
woman
Chad
up here for? She must be doing
Brad and
something.
Chad smoke a lot of weed and drink a lot of tall boys, and they forget things very easily unless it's about falling out of a plane currently. So yeah, they're I don't know who was supposed to be in charge of sending this world record, but unfortunately the lady died. It's sad, but yeah, if she hasn't been verified yet, that's a shame and a crime. But yeah, she's not gonna know.
By the
Sad.
way, I did kind of mention
I'm
the
sad.
name Brad in a negative tone. I don't want to do that. All Brads are not very good. I know there's a guy called, you won't know this. I mean, he's but if you check out, there's a guy called Bro Brad. He's like fucking 8 foot tall. He looks like if someone Like Thor looks at him and goes, Jesus Christ, I wish I looked that good. He's a Greek god and a great guy. So if you are listening to this, bro, Brad, I do apologize for bringing your name into vain, but that Brad on that plane was a dick. But you're great. I love you. But yeah, seriously, get your shit together, Guinness World Record. This is why are we trusting a brewery with this kind of important task? And the Irish one at that.
I think we talked about,
and I'm Irish, so I can talk shit about Irish people.
Oh, well, that's fancy. I think we talked about this once upon a time. You remember why the book was created, right?
Just something for people to talk about while they're drinking Guinness.
To stop the bar fights while they're talking about stuff.
Well, I'm going to start I'm going to go to the Guinness Brewery in Ireland, and I'm going to start fights with people because in the name of Dorothy Hoffner.
As long as her name is your battle cry, then I will support you. Otherwise,
instead of Leroy Jenkins, Dorothy Hoffner, and I just run in.
And you just over punch someone's face. Yes, that's how that works.
It's just a
Superman kick in there. Bah! Kick someone into the vat of peat and beer.
But yeah, there you go. But for those who want to, there will be a memorial service held next month for Dorothy Hoffner. R.I.P.
So again, back to the question: has she been verified yet? Is it her record, or is that still sitting on it? Because now she's dead.
Yes, she's still dead. As of
she's still. That's not what I asked.
As of when I put this show together a couple of days ago, the record still was yet to be verified, which is horse shit.
Okay, yeah. Pick it up, Guinness.
But maybe this is why. This is why maybe the memorial service is being held next month. Like they're basically giving Guinness, so at least maybe at the memorial service they can like award her the thingy. But
that would be nice. Posthumous award
would be nice. But
they're still gonna request you gotta fly us out to this thing.
Oh my god!
And put us up in a hotel.
I swear, Guinness World Records. If you ask the family of Dorothy Hoffner, she was a saint of a woman, if you ask them to fucking pay for your flights and hotel to go to this memorial service, I will fight you again. I'll be back. He's back again. Dorothy Hoffner. And I'll just be swinging and punching, and they're going to be dragging me away. And I'm like, what? I thought this was America. I thought this was America. And they're like, no, it's fucking Ireland, you dick. Oh, fuck. There you
go. Once again, to Miss Dorothy Hoffner, I was too afraid to jump out of the plane at 25. So you are a goddess. Thank you.
I'm never jumping out.
And I'm not doing it at 45 either, motherfucker.
No, fuck that. Anyway, yeah,
shout out.
Anyway, still to come. We have our middle of the show birthday quiz. Whose birthday is it this week? Also, 5 Nights at Freddys. We're talking about that, plus much more. So we really appreciate it if you stuck around, and we'll see you right back after this quick message from our not sponsors, because it's an old commercial that I found on the internet. See you in a minute.
We'd stick around for you.
Yeah, stick around. It's what Dorothy would have wanted.
What Dorothy would have
wanted. Bobby?
What do you want?
We've got to talk. These kids you're mixed up with don't know right from wrong.
They're my friends.
People who don't dial 1-800-COLLECT are nobody's friends. 1-800-COLLECT is 10 cents a minute every evening.
Really?
This isn't a game, kid. You could be saving your parents money.
Bobby, you with us or him?
You made the right choice, son. 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box episode 122. before we hit the middle of the show quiz, because it is the middle of the show, it's the perfect time to play the middle of the show quiz if you ask me. I did do the little show and tell. I went to get the thing. These are the candies that I was talking about. They're organic giggles. All right, and they're
buddy.
So here's the thing.
I hope they're made out of tiger penis.
Wow.
And rhinoceros essence.
There are some ingredients, but it does say, right, so it says
there are some ingredients.
They are. This is just reading the packaging on the bag just makes me not want to eat them anymore, to be honest. But because
break it down.
It says that they are vegan friendly, gluten free, non-GMO, colored with real fruit, manufactured and packaged in a peanut free facility.
Fucking hell.
And they're also made without soy, egg, dairy, fish, shellfish, peanuts, artificial dyes, high fructose corn syrup.
All right, so what is it made with?
So
don't say love, because that's not an ingredient.
Ingredients: organic cane sugar, organic rice syrup,
interesting,
organic palm oil, citric acid, organic flavors, turmeric for color, sodium citrate, organic sunflower, others. It's just organic shit.
All organic shit, huh?
And they're called fucking giggles.
I'm calling shenanigans. Giggles. Yeah. I would leave those at the gas station next to the boner pills made out of rhino horn. Yeah.
To be fair, with a name like Organic Giggles, you'd have thought these would be boner pills.
They're called giggles, so I was surprised like side effects might include a boner.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it.
That's never a bad side effect, even if it goes 4 hours. You just need to know what to do with those 4 hours.
At this point, I'm just jizzing air. Oh, I need to go to sleep.
Air. Oh my god.
Well, you know, when you was younger,
most people go to dust or air,
things.
but hair.
No, not hair. Air. H2O.
Oh, air. Okay, so you did say air. Okay, so yeah, it's just
here it comes. Like someone's blowing at the top of a bottle top.
Well, like a fart out of your dick.
Confetti. But anyway, so yeah, let's talk about the middle of the show quiz. Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday is it today?
This is the greatest waffle box since the last greatest waffle box.
Right?
I don't know whose birthday is it, my friend.
Well, it is as it is Wednesday, 1st of November, as this podcast release. It's Jenny McCarthy's 51st birthday.
Ooh, the ultimate anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, because apparently the unicorn horn grated down and sunflower seeds cured her son of autism, apparently, which is really fun.
I don't believe that. I used to have Jenny McCarthy's original Playboy issue. It was pretty good.
And then she went interesting. That's where. So yeah,
and then she went mainstream, and then I had to get rid of Playboys. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about Jenny McCarthy. We've got 5 questions based around Jenny McCarthy's life. Other the fact that you became a man whilst looking at her photos, that is not one of the questions. But
that was to Brittany Morgan, but sure.
Hopefully, you ingested some of it.
It's October 1990
about her. So, Lathan, if you could hit me some music.
Number 1.
Question number 1. Jenny McCarthy was born in Evergreen Park, Illinois, which was the site for what medical first on June 17th, 1950?
I feel like the Mayo Clinic's involved, so something to do with cancer research. I don't have a good answer for that, though.
Make one up.
No, cancer research. It's a very broad question, sir.
Is it though?
Fine, whatever.
So on
Yes.
June 17th, 1950, in Evergreen Park, Illinois, the first successful organ transplant took place.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you want to get a bonus?
Okay.
Guess what organ it was?
A kidney.
It was a kidney.
Hey! Yeah.
Oh,
That's the
you.
simplest one.
Is
That's the
it?
simplest one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really? Dr. Kush?
For transplants, yes. Otherwise, the simplest organ to remove is the appendix.
I've always found out a lot of the times, just because I guess they're lazy, is when someone needs a kidney transplant, they'll leave the dud kidney in there. So people who have kidney transplant tend to have 3 kidneys in their body.
Oh,
Just the facts, ma'am.
Yeah. Look it up.
That's shitty. That's not cool. I'm wildly disturbed by that news. That's worse than
It's like kind
the
of
guy
smooth, it's
accidentally
one
leaving his
side.
watch in the fucking. That's worse than the guy leaving his watch in your stomach.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was
That's
the same
an
thing.
accident.
So, oh, yeah, we successfully put the new kidney in. Oh, what did you do with the old one? Shit. Fuck. I was supposed to say that out. No, well, actually, no, but it's very common. Yeah, we just leave the other one in there. Oh, really? Yeah. Fuck.
I'm wildly surprised nothing negative happened after that. Assuming it didn't. I assume it did though.
Maybe.
Number 2.
Anyways, number 2.
Number 2. Since
Fucking
2019,
hell.
Jenny McCarthy has been a judge on the Fox musical competition show, The Masked Singer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Well, this bodes well for this question. Who won that first season? So basically, it's like celebrities, they wear masks and costumes, and then they sing, and then the judges have to guess who they are.
I'm familiar with the premise of the show.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
how they get. I don't know if they get eliminated because they're shit, or if they guess who you are, you get eliminated. I don't know how it works. I don't care. I never watched the fucking episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know Adam Carolla was a avocado one time.
Oh,
and
my
for some
my
reason,
car's
someone
named after
called
him.
out. Oh, fascinating.
Sorry,
So
Carolla.
I don't know. Idris Elba. Idris
Hell.
Elba won season 1.
That would have been great.
Amazing,
No,
right?
it was T-Pain. T-Pain
Okay.
won the first Masked Singer.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Question number 3.
Number 3.
In 1993, Jenny McCarthy was selected from 100,000 applicants to pose for what well-known publication?
Was it Bassmasters?
Playboy.
It was not Bassmasters. It was indeed Playboy. Yeah, you brought up the Playboy story, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't continue the story because it's going to ruin the question or whatever." Let's just move on.
Number
My
4.
bad.
Dang, that's right. You could talk about your youth and your little, times you used to wank yourself silly. What do you want? It's just a judgment-free zone. It's like
This would be a very long episode if we did that.
it's like Planet Fitness.
And then there was a time I got high on nitrous oxide and held off just before the orgasm.
Number 4.
All right, Lathan. Question number 4.
Comfortable silence.
In 1995, Jenny McCarthy appeared at WrestleMania 11 to act as valet
That's right.
to which superstar?
I want to say Kevin Nash. I almost said Kevin Hart, which would have been hilarious, but Kevin
would've
Nash. It was like her, the kid from Home Improvement, and then someone else. No? Okay. That sucks.
Actually, I think what you might be thinking of another different, because she actually came out to the ring with Shawn Michaels against Kevin Nash. But I think what
funny.
might be in your mind, I think, because there was another WrestleMania, it might been like the one after or the one before where he came out with Pamela Anderson. But
Fascinating. Okay.
you did say Kevin
I'm
Nash,
clearly
and he was
mixing that
facing
up.
Kevin Nash. That was fun fact.
Okay.
Right, just for funsies
Someone
then.
there.
Just for funsies.
Number
Just for
5.
fun. Just
Number
for
5.
Number
Question number 5. Jenny McCarthy married Donnie Wahlberg in 2014. What was the name of Donnie Wahlberg's boy band?
Oh, New Kids on the Block.
Hey! But
Did you
unfortunately,
know they had a
Kush,
cartoon show?
did they really?
Yeah, for a year.
What was it? Was it like Power Rangers, where like the new kids on the block would like, oh my god, there's an injustice in this world. Let's put our hands together and we become mecha new kids on the block, and they fight crime.
You're more or less describing Captain Planet, but no on both accounts.
I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah, it's okay. It was more or less in the vein of the Jackson 5 cartoon show, which I would only know
had
from
a
reruns.
cartoon show.
Yes, sir, in the 70s, and it was kind of Scooby-Doo-ish because that's what all the cartoons were doing in the 70s. But anyways, yeah. So 2 out of 5. That seems to be my par these last couple of months. Yeah.
Let's make it official.
One day I'll be a winner again.
You lose.
So wait, Jackson 5 had a
Shame.
cartoon show that was based on Scooby-Doo?
On them. No, they were the Jackson 5. They would go from show to show, and then there would be a mystery involved or something. You know, and again, same gimmick. We caught so and so. Let's take off his mask. Oh, it's Old Man Jenkins from the old amusement park. It was always that shit. But they would also
Was there that one
each
awkward
episode would have an original Jackson 5 song.
Was there that one awkward episode where like, oh, let's find out who's been having inappropriate relations with these kids? Wait, it's Michael. You're out the band.
No,
No.
sir. No.
Okay.
Least funniest joke on the Waffle Box. No.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Whatever. Anyway, let's move on. It's now time for us to talk about this pit.
I will fight
for celebrity. Oh, speaking of fighting, let's pit 4 celebrities up against each other in a segment that we like to call Celebrity Battle Royale.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah. This week's Celebrity Battle Royale is themed around Gotham City's favorite rich person. We're gonna pit Batman against Batman against Batman against Batman. It's the Batman Battle Royale. So I'm gonna give you 4 actors that have played Bruce Wayne / Batman, and then we're gonna put them in a cage together and fight it out.
Okay.
Find out who's the best one. Clearly Adam West is the best one, but since he's unfortunately no longer with us, I thought it'd be a bit unfair to put him in the ring, as I think the other ones will have a bit of unfair advantage since they were. Yeah.
I mean, imagine we're talking about just the motion pictures in the last 30 years. So
Sure.
there was a 60s Batman movie, but man.
Why is it so hard to get rid of a bomb?
Indeed.
And his shark repellent spray. What a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen the original Batman movie, fucking check it out. It's super cheesy, but they do it so well.
Man.
So anyway, 4 Batman.
It's dated. Yes.
Speaking of, we've got the Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse, right? And they did like a Batman. So if there's more than one Batman in a room, do you refer to them as Batmans or Batmen?
Batman.
Batman? Okay.
Spider-Man. Batman.
Spider-Man. Batman.
Men is men.
Men is
Batman's
men.
men.
Men's. So the 4 competitors are, and actually, there was obviously several because there's like live action version. There's what? I'm just introducing. I'm trying to write stuff down here. but I thought these would be good in the fight anyway. So, all right, contestant number 1, Christian Bale.
That's a strong one.
Contestant number 2, Ben Affleck. Number 3, Michael Keaton. Number 4, George Clooney. Now, remember, this is a battle royal. We're not talking about, their acting chops. We're talking about at their peak when they were playing Batman, who would win in a fight, who would eliminate who, in which order. Kush, let us inside that little brain of yours. And no, the little.
Oh, how dare you?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean it to come out like that. But yeah, you know what I mean. Your big brain. It's like a TARDIS in there. It looks small on the outside, but when you go in, you're like, oh my god, this brain is so big. He must be so smart. What the hell of a save!
How dare you? Okay, here we go. So I'm supposed to say that Michael Keaton is going to win this thing because that was the first Batman in my lifetime. Yeah, and again, Adam West was around in reruns, but he's not on this list. And Michael Keaton wasn't the best Batman. He was not my draw to the movie for The Flash. That doesn't mean that he's the first one out. The first one out is George Clooney. And George Clooney wasn't a bad Batman. Maybe a better Bruce Wayne, but not a bad Batman. He was just in a bad Batman movie. However, he's doing this gimmick now where every time we get a new Batman movie and he just happens to be doing something else, someone has to bring up, so you were in Batman. He was, yes, and I regret every single moment of it. And I have to apologize to the people out there and the fans of Batman and DC Comics. And it's old.
I thought he was a decent Batman.
That, I just said the same thing. He was not a bad Batman.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
However, okay. Well, he's going down the trap first anyway.
Well, I'm eating my giggles.
Oh my God. We're literally witnessing Mike getting rectum cancer right now. Anyways.
But a boner.
Then Michael Keaton gets taken out. But he gets taken out by, you'll never guess who. It is Christian Bale.
Wow.
Christian Bale was a really good Batman. Good Batman. I enjoy Batman Returns is my favorite of the Nolan trilogy. A lot of people say the Dark Knight is the best one. And I'm just like, it's no.
Wait, which one was your favorite one?
And Batman, the first one with him and Liam Neeson.
Oh, Batman Begins.
Yeah, Batman Begins.
You said Batman Returns. And I was like, wait, what?
If I did, I apologize. I meant Batman Begins. The first Christian Bale,
the first
Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, I thought it dragged out a bit for me.
Really? It's the shortest of the three.
Get to the point. Why are you scared of bats?
They got to the point. They got to the bats. It was a very good adaptation of Batman Year One, all altered, obviously. And yeah, I get like what's his nuts was a very good Joker, but he shouldn't have been the movie. And then Batman, The Dark Knight Rises was a piece of shit. And for a long time there, I was in the minority of people who didn't like that. Now it's apparently popular to dogpile on that thing. But at the time I was like, what is this bullshit? What am I watching here? This is fucking nonsense. Really?
Because then you just
every
had like
single cop in Gotham is in the sewers right now? That's fucking stupid.
And then you had a whole generation getting their mugs and going, oh, hello, Batman. Oh.
And I don't mind, actually. I don't know what the inspiration for this Bane was, but whatever. It was fine. It was fine. It was not good, but it was fine. So that makes Ben Affleck the best Batman of these four. He got super bulky, despite the fact that Batman is supposed to be like a sleek, slender, stealthy ninja detective. But yeah, man, for those who wanted beefy, bulky Batfleck, you got him. And when he was announced as the Batman for the DCEU, and everybody was dogpiling on that, like, he's gonna ruin it. He was the best thing about Batman versus Superman. I wasn't happy with the ending of the movie, but I was like, he's a very good Batman. He did everything he wanted to do. This was his interpretation of it. is the strongest Batman. I thought it was stupid when he did a whole little workout montage to fight Superman, which, by the way, Superman just flicked him in the nose and he shot across the room. That was dumb as shit. So, but Ben Affleck, I think it was maybe the strongest Batman. I like the Robert Pattinson Batman too, but yeah, Ben Affleck got shitted on with his whole Batman reign. He should have been able to do what he wanted to do, and Warner Brothers fucked that all up. And whatever. Ben Affleck is our winner. Affleck.
Congratulations, Ben Affleck. On the undisputed Batman heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, man. Of all the problems in the DCEU, Ben Affleck was not it. Not even by a mile.
And for a rare Jay-Z reference on this show, DCEU, they got 99 problems, but Ben Affleck ain't one.
I remember that song.
You like
I
that?
bob my head to that song all the time. It comes up on Spotify.
You like that, kids? I'm hip. I'm still referencing Jay-Z lyrics from 20 years ago. I don't know if that when that song came out. I can't remember. Anyway, let's talk about
Jay-Z's still relevant.
Yeah. Sure, he's looking good. He's looking good. I saw him in a
His
recent
hair game is fucked up these days. He's trying to do some Basquiat bullshit with his hair.
I don't know. Someone, I'm not going to speak on your behalf. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I'm not going to put anything in your mouth. But
thank you.
As a man who's follically challenged, whenever a man can grow that kind of head of hair, I'm like, I salute you. But anyway,
you know what? When I see someone who can grow that much hair and see how they style it that way, it looks like you just got a clump of shit on your head, buddy. No. Again, also someone follically challenged like you, Mike Fish. I the potential for greatness is there. The execution is dog shit. Dude, he can have the greatest hair right now. Jay-Z, I hope you're hearing this. I know you're listening to this.
Oh yeah, he's a big fan of the show.
Tickets to Beyonce's movie.
Big fan of the show, Jay-Z. Chica. Take me to a Nets game. Anyway, all right. It's I don't know if he still owns any part of the Nets. I don't think he does. But let's talk about movies. And those rare unicorn touching a leprechaun. It's a rare moment. It's one of those beautiful moments where Kush's brain and my brain come together because we actually watched this movie together. Well, not together, but you know what I mean. We both
saw it.
Yeah, we both saw it, but we was spiritually together, sharing popcorn. Not too salty, a little bit of butter. The classic. It's now time for Kush's movie review.
Kush's movie review.
Yeah, welcome to Kush's movie review. If you are watching the standalone version on the YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, get the thumbs up, leave a comment in the comments section. Let us know what you thought about this movie or what you thought about the review. Blah, 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 blah. This week's movie review is Five Nights at Freddy's, a wonderful story about how the band members of Queen got together and recorded the album A Night at the Opera.
I so wish that was this movie. That would have been an amazing. That would have been an amazing movie. That would have been a great movie. No, unfortunately, we saw Five Nights at Freddy's. It's 1 hour and 49 minutes long. It's rated PG-13, and it's based on a series of video games. I believe there's 5 proper sequels, and then like a dozen side sequels,
DLC add-ons or whatever,
stupid shit like that, where they're not even animatronic puppets at this point. They are just the characters they represent, and they're in space or some shit. I don't know. I knew of this game. I've never played it before. It's apparently rated T for teen. So everybody who's coming at this movie and going, it's a horror movie, it should have been rated R. Well, not necessarily. The game is rated T for teens, so why would the movie be rated PG-13?
Yeah, I'm not
Horror movies are horror
super
movies, but
familiar with the video game, but as from the limited access I have had to the video game, it was more of a psychological horror game where it was kind of like you would see something creeping up on you, and then it'd just be like kind of on the screen, you got dead. So it wasn't graphic or anything like that. So it makes sense.
yeah, that sounds about right. You know, like again, you're exploring a room and then jump scare, and something that looks like a Tweety bird would jump at you and make a terrifying noise, and you got your earphones on, and that makes you go like, oh my god, I'm 12 years old and I had a heart attack. Oh, so yeah, I totally get that. This is directed by a woman named Emma Tammy. Assuming I'm saying that name correctly. This is technically her second feature film. She's done a couple short films, some TV, not that much. She's very new on the scene here. This is written by her and Seth Cuddleback. It's based on, I'm embarrassed that I did not write down the name of the guy who actually invented it. He gets the writing credit too. It stars a gentleman named Josh Hutcherson, who played Peeta in the Hunger Games trilogy, not to be confused with the new Hunger Games prequel coming up, but the original, not even a trilogy. That was 4 fucking movies. Excuse me. He was in the first 4 Hunger Games movies. Elizabeth Lawley, who I don't know her from anything, and then Matthew Lillard is in this. Most folks know him from Scream. Everybody else knows him as Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And then there's Little Girl, who is one of the most annoying characters, as is most characters in quote unquote horror movies. The kid is always super fucking annoying. And then the Jim Henson Creature Shop is the next big star in this, featuring all of the puppets, which each puppet like took 6 men to monitor, move around, make work, animate's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So Mike Fish, having said that, you wanna jump in real quick before I get into my heartbreaking critique?
Yeah, no, I mean,
You're not familiar with the game, but
I am. I'm
okay.
familiar enough with the game, but yeah, I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to, this is your segment. This is Kush's movie review. I'm not going to go too far ahead. I'll wait for your damning thing. But yeah, no, I must admit, when you said, "Oh, I'm going to be reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's," and I was like, "Oh, okay, let's check that out." Oh, great, a video game adaptation. This is probably going to be amazing, right? Because all video game adaptations are awesome historically. There has never been a bad video game movie adaptation. And by that, I'm very much lying. And so I wasn't looking forward to watching this movie. But yeah, my thoughts after you, sir.
Right on. So this is a video game adaptation, as you said. It is about a guy who's down on his luck. He's got mental instability problems. This is again Josh Hutcherson, Peeta from the Hunger Games. Cinematically wise, and again, I have no comparison to the video games, so I can't whatever references everybody jumped up about, none of it all washed over me. So I went into this with the blindest of eyes. Josh Hutcherson's story is actually very interesting. He was a child once upon a time, as who wasn't. They're all at a camping site, him and his family, mom and dad, little brother. Mom's gonna go get some ketchup. Hey, keep an eye on little brother. He gets distracted for 1 stupid second, and then his little brother gets kidnapped, and he's been tortured by this memory for 15 years. Has a thing where if he takes enough sleep medication, listens to the right thing, has a picture of where they were, he can revisit that memory every goddamn night. I wish I could do that. that would be pretty interesting if that was a thing people could do. No one can do that, but again, video games, so who cares? He is somehow torturing himself, reliving the abduction of his little brother. Damn, I don't know why I tripped on that word so hard. Anyways, it goes on and on and on. Mom died. Dad is apparently somewhere else. It's unclear if he's dead or if he just bailed on everybody because of his depression. But Josh is in charge of little sister now, who's about 8 or 9 years old. And this child is a cunt. I hate this character. This is the worst. I know it's cinematic child, so whatever. But damn, it's just like, hey, I'm trying to take care of you. I gotta do this bullshit ass job where I'm monitoring a food court. We gotta go. Get dressed. Don't throw a fucking stuffed animal at me. Eat your goddamn breakfast, and etc. 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 Give me my security vest. All this thing. Yeah, this little girl just makes this man's job, makes this man's life harder than it even needs to be when it already is. So I hate the kid. Again, this man has been traumatized, so he loses his job at the food court because he assaulted a man for being just a little too rough for his child. But our guy thought this kid was being kidnapped. Doesn't matter. He gets fired. And then Matthew Lillard goes, yeah, I got a job for you. It's the bottom of the barrel. Blah, 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 blah. Go to Freddy Fazbear's pizzeria. Go to Chuck E. Cheese. There's no day shift to this security gig. It's clearly a night gig. You show up at 11. You leave around 7 or 8. No one relieves you. So I don't understand that logic to this. Yeah, I've never understood that logic to this game. And then weird things happen. Again, Josh is taking his sleeping pills with him, his white noise tape, his picture of scenic Nebraska or wherever the fuck that camping site was supposed to be, and he just sleeps on the job for a couple days. And again, weird stuff happens, but it's not necessarily because of the haunted pizzeria. However, there's an evil aunt. Oh my god, I'm just explaining the whole goddamn movie at this point here. It's dumb. This movie is dumb. If you're one day over the age of 15, this movie is dumb. Know that as a horror movie, this didn't need to be a rated R thing. Again, the game is rated T. Why would the movie be PG-13? There's plenty of horror movies that are really scary, even today, as a PG-13. Gore Verbinski's The Ring, terrifying. Outdated in 2023 because of video cassettes, but still goddamn creepy. This is nothing. And at one point, little sister comes to the job and at 4 a.m. discovers
I fucking hate this
Freddy
scene.
Fazbender. It's ridiculous, right?
And she's just like,
whatever horror is in this movie immediately ripped out.
oh look, no, I'm just playing with my possessed friends. Yeah, these
are my friends.
animatronic animals have been possessed by dead children, and we're just playing. That cool, right? Wait, what? And, like,
we're gonna build a fort.
Yeah, but I don't care how. Like, she's supposed to be young. I get that, but no kid is gonna be. Yeah, that's just because I know as a kid you have imaginary friends and you kind of justify things in that. But if you literally see these fucking animatronic things come to life, I don't care how old you are, you're probably going to be like, this is weird. But no, this kid's like, yeah, this is fucking cool.
Yeah. In this one particular scene, it's something out of the Garbage Pail Kids movie, which is a terrible movie. It's kind of something out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, where again, like our avatar, our real world person is now just interacting with puppets from the Jim Henson Company. And it's just like, wow, you guys are real. Oh my goodness. What do we do next? Oh, let's have fun. And then there's a musical number like, oh, we're going to do this thing now. Oh, look at me. I'm going back and forth and pumping my fist, you know?
Some of the music that was on this movie was pretty good, though.
Some of the music was fine. Again, and you would find that at a Chuck E. Cheese. So,
talking in
I don't
your sleep.
Nice. I didn't even bother memorizing that much of the music.
Oh, if you like the song "Talking in Your Sleep," you're gonna really hear a lot of that song. This movie.
Talking in Your Sleep again. Themes. Guy with sleeping problems. Themes. So this as with every review, we come to a point where we talk about the length of the film, and 1 hour and 49 minutes. I don't know that this movie needed to be 1 hour and 49 minutes, but I don't know what I would have cut out of this because it's all just bullshit. However, if you are a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's, and I didn't see this in the theater, I stayed at home. I took advantage of Peacock because of Xfinity Comcast, and I just watched it.
We both watched it on the cock.
Yeah, on the cock, with our cocks out. And yeah, I understand that the children who saw this in the theater were freaking out about this like it was a Marvel movie, like it was the Taylor Swift show. They were dancing in the aisles. They're like, I know that reference. I understand shit like that was happening. So I'm kind of glad I wasn't there for that, but maybe that would have been a cool theatrical experience, but at 45 years, probably not. And I don't care to find out, and I don't feel FOMO'd. Having said that, regardless of what I feel about this movie, and again, I don't think this was a good movie. And again, I think if you are one day over 15 and thought this was the greatest movie of the year to date, or a good horror movie, or anything other than whatever, we need to ask, how much paint have you been huffing? Were you dropped on your head as a child? Do you ride the short bus to school? I don't mean to be mean, but this is the IQ level we're dealing with here. This is not a good movie. Not even, I don't even think this is a good movie for children. But again, if you're 14 and under, I'll allow it. Again, regardless of what I think, this movie cost $20 million to produce. It is Blumhouse's actual most expensive movie to date. And the projections for this weekend were $50 million. The estimates on Sunday was it made $76 million. And then the final total on Monday for the weekend was it made $80 million.
Nice.
So this is by all means a success. If you're wondering if there's gonna be a sequel, you'd be fucking stupid to think there won't be a sequel. There will be many sequels after this.
Here's why. I mean, you could be right, because not to do spoileries, but they did sort of leave a cliffhanger-ish at the end of the movie-ish.
Sure.
But no, the only reason I've kind of, because with my very limited knowledge of the video games, like
same,
I
have as much knowledge as you do.
They alluded to the fact, obviously, that the animatronic toys or animatronic characters, whatever, at the restaurant were possessed by the dead children, and if I'm correct, I do believe that isn't really alluded to until the third video game in the series. Yeah. So they're kind of jumping around the thing. So, I mean, obviously, they could still...
I also understand
they could still package around
the
stuff.
First three parts and squish them into one thing. Yeah, I understand that.
But no, I did... for me, I was talking off air a little bit. Like, for me, I didn't hate this movie because, obviously, we alluded to it earlier. Generally, video game adaptations are dog shit. They're normally terrible fucking movies.
They're usually pretty bad.
And so maybe it was because I came into this with such low expectations. Like, my expectations were like just, they might be bloody at this point because they were just dragging along the floor for so long. And so the fact that this movie's like, oh, okay, it's starting off pretty quickly in terms of, oh, he's the security guard. He's being hired to go to the Freddy thing. Oh, that's like the video game. Oh, and then there's the animatronics, and like he's he's just watching the TV show, the training thing, and then you see the animatronics creeping around a little bit, and I was like, oh, do you know, this might not be that bad. So I was the first third, I guess, of the movie, I was into it. I was like, oh, okay, because they're obviously adding the family. Oh, he has to help out with his sister and younger sister. They have to do it for movie's sake. They have to add some kind of emotive shit to it. So I'll let that off. But I think the core of it was like, oh, okay, I'm down. I'm excited to see where this goes. But then, yeah, when his little sister was just chilling with the animatronics and they were building forts and stuff, and then I guess we're not doing spoilers, but the ending was, oh my god, how did they
it was hard to watch.
Was so bad. Like, it was like, yeah, I don't know how to talk more about it without spoiling, but yeah, the ending was just garbage, so bad. But yeah, no, I really like the dynamic of like him communicating with the dead children in his dreams. I thought that was very well done.
It's interesting premise.
This had such potential. But the fact, because I looked it up, the fact, again, I'm not going to go into too much spoilers here, but the fact,
we don't need to go into
this has a lower score on Rotten Tomatoes than Resident Evil is a crime. Because if you're just comparing the two, the first one, if you're just basing two video game adaptations, like, just pretend for whatever in your little weird world, there's only two movies that exist in the whole world. This one and Resident Evil. This one wins an Oscar. Like, this was such a way better movie and such a better video game adaptation than Resident Evil 1. And the fact that it doesn't have a higher score is a crime, in my opinion. Because at least this followed somewhat the video game. Whereas Resident Evil, and I don't want to make this about Resident Evil, but Resident Evil was, oh, how is this based on Resident Evil game? We named it Resident Evil.
Its own thing entirely. Yeah.
Oh, this main character in this Resident Evil movie, is she in the games? No, we just made her up. Brilliant, fantastic. It's horrible. But yeah, I'll give my what are you going to score this one, Kush?
I got to give this a 2 out of 5. I would like to give it a lower rating, but it's, despite the fact I didn't see it in theaters, I don't think it's worse than Ant-Man 3. And that had so much goddamn money thrown at it. There's no reason that movie should have been as bad as it was. This, again, they spent $20 million. It's amazing it turned out as good as it did. And again, it made $80 million. So yes, there will be a sequel. I'm trying to find the video game rating of Resident Evil 1. Rated M. So Resident Evil 1 as a video game, rated M. Resident Evil the movie, rated R. Again, it's a fair balance there. So yeah, again, Five Nights at Freddy's, rated T for teens, rated PG-13. If you're a day over 15 and you like this movie, something's wrong with you. I told you at the top of the episode, I believe, this thing broke all sorts of goddamn records, regardless of what we think about it, Mike Fish. Domestically, this is the highest grossing opening weekend for a Blumhouse movie, surpassing 2018's Halloween. This is the 19th Blumhouse film to open up in first place, and domestically, it is the biggest opening weekend of the year for a Halloween, for a horror film, overtaking Scream 6 by double.
Boom.
This is the second largest debut all time of a video game adaptation, just behind the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is only number 2 this year in 2023. Barbie beat that movie. This is the second. This actually is tied for movies that have a day and date release. That means it came in the theater and was put on streaming on the same day. Black Widow in 2021 was put on D Plus and released in theaters the same day. There was a pandemic happening. Both of these movies made $80 million. However, Black Widow would make an extra $60 million because Disney was charging $30 for the pay-per-view. You also had to have a Disney Plus subscription.
You did.
So that was a weird time. And then let's see. Biggest weekend for a Universal / Peacock release, just overtaking Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Combined, those movies made $89 million. This movie again made $80 million. Highest grossing weekend for a Halloween weekend, outperforming 2011's Puss in Boots.
Just the facts, ma'am.
$34 million. Third biggest debut for any horror film, just behind 2017's It and 2019's It Chapter 2.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Best debut for a PG-13 horror film, The Mummy Returns, which I always considered an action film, not a horror film, but that's that's what Variety is saying. So whatever on that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
International.
Oh, ooh la la!
Second biggest horror opening after The Nun Part 2, which just literally came out a couple months ago. That internationally, The Nun Part 2 made $52.7 million, $53 million.
Well, the thing about Nun Part 2 is like, you had Whoopi Goldberg coming back. Those nuns can sing. Oh, it was such a fun time.
I'm just going to move forward with that. That was very funny. And if you know, you know.
You know,
if
you know.
Don't get it. Sucks. You can reach out to Mike Fish at Mr. Mike Fish at Twitter.
Only Mike Fish.
Globally, and there's only 2 more of these left. Apparently, biggest horror opening of 2023, just ahead of The Nun 2. This says $88 million, but I've been telling you it's I guess $80 million was the just the domestic. So yeah, I don't know what it made globally. And then highest grossing Blumhouse film of all time, ahead of Halloween at $91.8 million. So regardless of what I think, this thing fucking crushed. It crushed.
Well, yeah,
and then 2 more
like
details off the head here. 2 more details. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm gonna let you finish here in a second. I'm gonna let you get ready here. Did what?
Oh, now
Martin
you're Taylor Swift.
Scorsese could
No,
not
I'm
do.
Taylor Swift, and you're Kanye West. Carry on.
Yes. Did what Martin Scorsese couldn't dethrone Taylor Swift, but this movie did. So Taylor Swift made like $13 million, which is whatever. Third weekend, it's exclusive run. Martin Scorsese only made $33 million last weekend, and then no one cares what he made this weekend. So that's all I got. Kush Hayes says 2 out of 5. If you love this, greatest video game movie ever, but I'm too old. I don't give a shit. And again, if you're over 15, you're probably retarded.
Well, not that you'd probably enjoy it anyway, but I think if you're familiar with the video games, you might enjoy this a little bit more. But yeah, like I was saying before we hit record, you were surprised at how the numbers were coming in and things like that. But no, I think the video game franchise is a huge cult favorite, so it didn't shock me that a lot of people wanted to see what the movie was like. Yeah, not the best. I think it was, again, based on the video games, I think this could have been more psychological, had more fun with it, instead of doing the whole family.
This was a video game
story.
for children. This is a video game for children. This is a movie for children. But guess what? Detective Pikachu is also a video game for children and was a movie for children, and I think is 10 times better than this movie.
Good lord, yeah, that was a great movie. It's
got your boy Ryan Reynolds in it. And 2 characters,
and it got me excited. I didn't whenever Ryan Reynolds comes on the screen, I don't need to take these organic giggles from the gas station. Well, it's hard as a diamond, baby. 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Is that your review too, Mike Fish? 2 out of 5.
Yeah, no, I think mine would have been more of like a, because yours was a low 2. I think mine was like.
I mean, if you like it, you like it, dude. But you might also be huffing.
No, I want to say a middle 2, because, like I say, I think the first third of the movie I thought was very promising and very good, and then it just kind of went to shit.
What I absolutely hate about this movie is in 10 years, there would be people who were 12 when this movie came out, and now they'll be 22 and be like, you remember when fucking Five Nights at Freddy's was a thing? Oh my God. I fucking love that movie. That thing made me jump, and it made me scared, and I had nightmares. And it's bound to happen. In 10 years from now, you're going to be seeing internet articles about, like, maybe we should give Five Nights at Freddy's another chance. They'll have multiple sequels already, but still.
Even like I say, even though the games wasn't too gory, I think the premise of Five Nights at Freddy, that would be a fun R-rated horror movie. I think that would be just do a different version. But that's just me, and I'm just one man with a beard and a British accent, so maybe you should listen to me. Anyway, let's wrap this up by making us, we're all scared and lonely and frustrated at Five Nights at Freddy. So let's all feel good and warm and fuzzy inside and end things, as always, as we like to do, with this week's feel-good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story comes to us from Haralson County, Georgia. Not quite Cobb County, Georgia. Shout out to you, big boss man. Holly Prigmore, who is an avid dog lover, according to this article, delivers mail for the US Postal Service. The highlights of her shift, apparently, are the dogs that she encounters along her route, which is, I thought the stereotype was that dogs hated postmen. But she's trying to smash that stereotype. God bless her. Anyway, however, one particular encounter took a frightening turn a few weeks ago when she noticed Ginger, a black beagle mix, limping by the roadside. Oh, she discovered that Ginger had been bitten by a snake.
No.
Which was later identified as a copperhead. For those avid snake fans out there. So, using the homeowner's doorbell camera, she wrote a message on her phone to notify them of the situation and promptly rushed Ginger to the veterinarian. Owners Kelsey and Aaron Proctor shared a heartfelt tribute to Prigmore on Facebook as they described what had happened and asked friends to help them identify their hero. The post circulated quickly within the area, and Prigmore was identified as the postal worker who had saved the day and the dog. Kelsey had the chance recently to meet and personally thank Holly Prigmore for her heroic actions on Wednesday. As for Ginger, she is doing well. She's still a little sore from the bite, but hasn't had any major issues since she received treatment. So there you go. A lovely post person skiving off. I don't want to deliver any more mail. I'm going to take this dog for a drive. But thankfully, it was for a good reason, and she saved the dog's life. Because those damn pesky snakes biting Ginger. So shout out to Holly Prigmore. You're the real MVP. You're the best postperson, postwoman. I don't know. But there you go. Thanks very much for your service.
Man. Dogs, whoever is Dog's PR manager must be a trillionaire right now, because if that was a person that this woman had found bitten by a copper snake, I bet she would have just kept walking on by like, oh my god,
Oh,
this
she
guy's
was
just twitching out right now.
oh my god, look at that person. He's probably on drugs.
Probably on drugs. And that man would have died. But because it was a dog, we had to act quickly. So good for you, dogs.
Yeah, the dogs.
That's all I got.
I mean, dogs are great, but I want to know, the only reason I want to give a because owners Kelsey and Aaron Proctor. I don't want to rush to any judgment here, because maybe the article was poorly written. I don't know, but when she said she noticed Ginger limping by the roadside, what the fuck was a dog by the roadside unattended?
Yep. Off a leash, not tied up.
And assuming she had to use the homeowner's doorbell camera to write them, so she obviously rang the doorbell to no answer. So where the fuck were they while this dog was out on the roadside?
Probably at work.
Well, I think, you know what I think should happen? I think Ginger should be taken away from these horrific people who obviously don't know how to look after their dogs.
Extreme.
And
okay. I'm with you.
I reckon Holly should look after Ginger. Or she doesn't, send it to me. But you have to pay for the flights and all the jabs and all that stuff. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Don't open that door, dude. Everyone's gonna send you their damn dog. Don't open that door. But
well, they don't know my address.
There's a lot of discrepancies in this story here. However, a life was saved. Snakes, very scary. And good for you, postal carrier. You did a good job. You did a good deed. Pat on the back.
You're proud of yourself. Anyway, that brings a close to another episode of Waffle Box. This is episode Waffle Box 122, brought to you by Giggles, the only vegan-free, gluten-free, organic, non-GMO, not made in a peanut factory candy. That'd be great if we could get sponsored by this. If you want to have a fun time, but you're old and you're worried about diabetes and getting fat, eat Giggles. I'm saying, should reach out to us.
Giggles is not responsible for your penis falling off.
Yum Earth is apparently the company that makes these. So Yum Earth, reach out to Yum Earth on Twitter. I don't know if they have a Twitter account. Probably not, because they're probably thinking, oh, it's bad for the environment or the internet. But I don't know. Kush, you do other podcasts other than this. I turn a blind eye to it, even though I see you talking to other men. Upsets me deeply, but I'll let you do it.
Oh.
What have we got coming up on the microdose this week?
Well, last week we talked to a lady.
What?
Madeline Costner, aka DVD box set, came by the microdose after a full 18 months, and we talked about some of our favorite spoopy movies coming out this Halloween. Yesterday, if you're listening to this the day we released this, so you should check that out. We will have a new microdose coming out this week. I believe it'll be with Steven Steinbacher. Otherwise, TBD. But microdose, the Bosnet.family, YouTube, just check.
Wonderful. And if you want all those links and information, just go to follow him on Facebook at Cushford Hayes. You can follow me on X, or Twitter, as I still like to call it, at Only Mike Fish. You can follow us at Wafflebox on those enjoyableBox.com. If you are watching us on YouTube, please make sure if you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment in the section. It helps fuck up the algorithms and inflicts this pain on other unsuspecting viewers. If you are listening to us on Spotify, give us the 5 stars and all that jazz. You know what I mean? Just to help us out. Just help us out, man. Help us out. That's what I'm saying. If you've got this far as well, we're like 2 hours into this podcast. If you're into this, if you're in this deep, you're obviously a big fan. So helps. Anything we should pay you, but anyway, we're not going to do that because so all that good stuff. It's a good night from me. It's a good night from Kush, Lathan. Say good night to people.
Good night. night, everyone. As today is National Scented Candle Day, I'm going to run myself a nice hot bath, light up some of those bad boys, and treat myself like the princess that I am. Somebody has to, am I right? See you next week.
Damn right.
Get some Gwyneth Paltrow candles and have a beer. Ayo, call back.
Ayo. I don't. Like, because if you're having a scented candle bath day, yeah, you're gonna be in there for a while, right? Because you're relaxing.
Yep.
I just think the scent of Gwyneth Paltrow after a while would be too much.
Mm-hmm. Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy.
Yeah, like that's one of those things that
I'm in.
No,
until I'm not in.
No,
I'm in.
No, but if I see that, that's one of those candles where if I'm like walking around Target and I see it on the candle shelf, oh, here lies Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle. You know, you're gonna take a whiff, but I'm not taking it home because it's.
I'm right. Did you see the Super Bowl commercial for Uber Eats where they delivered Gwyneth Paltrow one of her own candles and she ate it and she was like,
I did not see that. That's fascinating.
That was amazing.
Anyway,
it's just the past Super Bowl.
Make sure you look surprised when you open your Secret Santa gift this year. It's a good night for me. It's a good night for him. Good night for Lathan. Until next week, take care of yourselves. And each other.
That's all, folks.